Why do we miss people who treated us badly? People who hurt us? People who left us confused, insecure, or drained? Like, shouldn't missing them stop automatically? But it doesn't. And that's the part nobody really talks about. I don't miss the arguments. I don't miss feeling anxious. I don't miss overthinking every little thing I said. But I still miss them. And that makes me feel stupid sometimes. Because when you look at it logically, they weren't good for you. They didn't show up the way they should have. They made you doubt yourself. So why does your brain still want them back? I think part of it is familiarity. Even pain becomes comfortable when it's what you're used to. At least you know what to expect. Being without them feels empty, uncertain, quiet in a scary way. Another part is that we don't miss the person, we miss the moments, the good days, the laughs, the way things felt before everything went wrong. And our brain does this annoying thing where it edits the past. It highlights the good parts and blurs out the bad ones. So you start thinking, maybe it wasn't that bad. Maybe I overreacted. Maybe it was mostly my fault. That's dangerous, because now you're romanticizing something that hurt you. I also think we miss who we were when we were with them. The version of you that felt wanted. The version of you that had hope. The version of you that believed things would work out. When they leave, that version disappears too. And suddenly, you're not just grieving a person, you're grieving yourself. Another reason we miss them is because they left things unresolved. No closure, no real conversation, no clean ending. Your mind hates unfinished stories, so it keeps replaying them, looking for a different ending. And the hardest part? Sometimes missing them feels easier than accepting that they weren't good for you. Because accepting that means admitting you stayed longer than you should have. You ignored red flags. You gave too much. And that hurts your pride. So instead of letting go, you miss them, even when they were bad for you. After the breakup, or the ending, or whatever you want to call it, the missing doesn't hit all at once. It creeps in. It shows up when you're bored, when you're tired, when something good happens and you don't know who to tell. That's when your brain brings them back. Not the whole person, just pieces. Their voice, their laugh, the way things felt in the beginning. And that's where the trap is, because in the beginning it usually was good. Most toxic relationships don't start toxic. They start intense. You felt chosen, seen, important. And when something starts that high, the drop feels brutal. So your brain keeps chasing that first version, that early version, the one that made you feel alive, even if the later version hurt you. I also think inconsistency plays a big role. When someone is hot and cold, your brain gets hooked. Good days feel amazing, bad days feel awful. And that contrast creates attachment, not love, attachment. You start trying to earn the good version of them back. You think, if I say the right thing, if I act different, if I try harder, it'll go back to how it was. And when it doesn't, you blame yourself. That's how you end up missing someone who is slowly draining you. There's also the loneliness factor. Being alone after something intense feels empty. Even peaceful moments feel wrong at first. So your brain goes, at least with them I felt something. Even if that something was anxiety. And yeah, trauma bonding is real. When pain and comfort come from the same person, your system gets confused. You start associating relief with the person who caused the stress. So when they're gone, your body feels like it lost its source of safety, even though they were also the source of pain. Another reason it sticks is ego. Letting go means admitting you invested in someone who couldn't meet you halfway. It means accepting you hoped they'd change, and they didn't, and that hurts. So missing them keeps the door cracked open. It lets you believe there's still meaning there. There was a moment for me where I realized something uncomfortable. I didn't miss them. I missed feeling wanted. I missed having someone to text, someone to think about, someone who made my days feel fuller. Once I saw that, it changed how I looked at the missing. It wasn't about going back, it was about filling a gap. And that gap wasn't created by them leaving, it was already there. They just filled it for a while. So, what do you do with that? I don't think the answer is forcing yourself to hate them. That never works. I think the answer is honesty, admitting what you actually miss, admitting where you abandoned yourself, admitting what you tolerated just to not be alone, and then doing the uncomfortable part, building a life where you don't need chaos to feel alive. I'm not saying I'm there yet. I still miss people who weren't good for me sometimes. But now when I do, I don't romanticize it. I ask myself, what part of me is feeling empty right now? And that question helps more than blaming myself ever did. I don't really have this figured out. I'm still in it. So I want to ask you, why do you think we miss people who were bad for us? Was it because of love? Or loneliness? Or just being scared of starting over? If you've been through this, did missing them eventually stop? Or did it just fade slowly? And when it stopped, what actually helped? Was it time? Was it meeting someone new? Was it finally accepting the truth about who they were? I'm also curious about this part. Did you ever go back to someone you knew wasn't good for you? And if you did it change anything? Or did it just confirm what you already knew? A lot of people say, if they were bad for you, you wouldn't miss them. I don't think that's true. So I want to know what your experience was. What made you finally let go? What kept you stuck longer than you should have been? Drop it in the comments if you feel like it. No perfect answers, no judgment. Just real people talking about real stuff. That's it.